Today, I'm going to go over what happened on my second full day on my pro football trial. I'm going to go over the whole day. It's super late at night, it's 9 p.m. So, I'm going to go over. I'm going to kind of take you start to finish and give you that real insight as to kind of how the day goes. So, when you're pursuing these big things, this is kind of what you got to expect. So, I woke up at 8 a.m. this morning. I felt horribly tired. Even if I got like I actually went to bed. I fell asleep quick last night, but I woke up to the alarm and I just felt horrible. So that's down to jet lag, it's down to the time change. I was trying to optimize my sleep, of course, right? That was what I was doing. I actually did super well because I'm able to fall asleep quickly. It's just my body is still not really used to having to wake up at 8 a.m. because my body thinks it's 2 a.m. because it's a 6 hour time difference from Canada to here. So obviously it's a problem, right? My body is, it's going to take a couple of days for that to get ready. But once I got through all those tough feelings, I went down, had some breakfast, and then I waited a bit because my training sessions are actually at 11 in the morning, which is a little bit later than I'm used to. I've had trials where my training's at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I'm more used to those because you show up and you kind of get up, you get ready and you go. Whereas now it's kind of a little awkward in the middle. Like at 11 is actually when I leave. By the time our training actually starts, it's more like noon type of time. Because 11 is actually when I leave. We have to drive over to the field where I'm training. I don't like live. I'm not staying in the place right next to it. So so that's going to be, like it's just a tiny little minor inconvenience, let's say. Like that's it. Like it actually is a better thing because I can sleep in a bit, but also I have to be careful about that because I obviously know like how my body is. Like if I did not set an alarm for 8 a.m. this morning, I don't know what time I would have gotten up. I'm gonna be honest because I literally was just knocked out and I only woke up to the alarm. So probably better to set an alarm even if I feel like crap, right? But the main point is like it's a little bit different than what I'm used to. Basically, it's a bit different from what I'm used to. So I got to adapt and I got to improve to find the way, right, to persevere and continue to push hard, right, and make these dreams happen. But then I went to the training. Today's training session honestly was a little bit slow. It was a little bit flat. It was a little bit, I don't know what the word it would be. Like it was just a little bit underwhelming because we didn't have a full team. We only had like 10 guys or so because the actual main team gets rest. So they played the game and they get like rest days. So it was only the people that hadn't played. So the intensity was low. That's probably how I would say that. But tomorrow is going to be like the real training. It's going to be the actual like full team there, proper session, all the coaches, and it's going to be, proper, right? Or at least I'm hoping, right? So today's training was a little bit more, I don't know, on the chill side, let's say. I personally didn't really enjoy it because I'm like if you watch this show enough, you know that like I'm a kind of intense person. Like I like that like hard work type of thing, that work ethic, that pushing past my limits. I'm like absolutely a perpetuator of that, and I kind of try and embody that in my life. So I didn't really like the fact that it was a little bit slow today, but it is what it is. Not all days are perfect, so I got back. I did a stretch, took a shower, had some lunch, and it was actually some good food, so I enjoy that. And then inevitably I took a nap, right? And, like by like 3 o'clock was when I made it back to my room. I took a nap, dude, because as I said earlier, I was so tired. Like I wanted to just listen to like an audiobook I'm listening to, and I ended up just like falling asleep. So that happens. That'll happen. And then I was just, I managed to wake up by like 5 o'clock. So I didn't oversleep, let's say. Then I had some snacks, read my Bible and did some reflections. And then I went and then downstairs there's a gym. So I went down there and did a little upper body workout, did some calisthenic stuff to kind of, push myself a little more, make this more of a double session, sweat a little bit more. So I did that. That was a good workout. Like they actually have a pretty good facility for like gym here, so like for like actual physical strength training is very good. Like the pull up bar had some very good grip, which actually would like I really appreciated, because the way I do my upper body workouts, it's mainly calisthenics. Like I do pull ups, chin ups, push ups, and today that's all I did. But sometimes I add like machines and a few like dumbbell type of exercises. But today all I did was the calisthenics part, because that's just kind of what I decided to do. So then I stretched it out. I kind of came back up, dried off, freshened up a little bit, and then went down to eat dinner. Dinner here is late, 8 p.m. It's late to some people, to others it's not, because there's some if you're tuned into world culture, there's countries in the world that eat at 9, countries in the world that eat at 10 p.m. This is when they're eating dinner. I'm used to eating dinner at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, where I'm from, or not even where I'm from, but just my kind of lifestyle. So that's why it allowed me to do a gym workout, and then at the end of the workout, I had dinner at 8 o'clock. And then I've just basically finished dinner, and now I'm here. I'm doing this reflection. I'm talking to you about the day. So that's kind of how the day is going. That's kind of how every day is, really. It's going to be, you have the morning session. Ideally tomorrow and the coming days it'll be more intense, and I'll feel more tired, which is a good thing. That's what I want to be doing, working my butt off, truly. And then afternoon time is just spent like doing some reflections, some Bible study, right? Like spiritually cleansing things, and sometimes falling into doom scrolling, which I'm gonna be completely real, like I have not been very good at containing myself on that regard, because there's nothing to do really when you're done eating lunch and you're at 3 p.m. and it's like you got nothing else to do for the rest of the day, so you got to make the most of it. So what I try to do, and I have to do better at this, is reading my Bible, doing my journaling, my reflections, and maybe spending more useful time on the phone listening to audiobooks, podcasts instead of scrolling. I got to do better at that. And then evening, afternoon, like late afternoon, evening would be like a workout of some kind. They actually, in this residency that I'm staying at, they have the gym that I already talked about, and they also have like a little space out in the back where it's like a tiny little, like just on a turf area with a net, so you can like do some like actual like extra football training. So some days it would be gym, other days it would be football training, and on like the really tired days it would be like just me like stretching, mobility work type of thing in that afternoon evening time, and then eat dinner late, come back in the room, and then do this reflection, right? Upload the podcast, and then head to bed. That's pretty much going to be my schedule for these next days. So I'm kind of giving you that insight. That's kind of how it looks like on a day-to-day basis, at least in this structure of this trial that I'm going on. Whatever happens in the future, of course, I'm going to be here reflecting every day, and talking about like the good and the bad, and really everything, the nitty-gritty of all that is truly going on this trial. So I invite you to continue to join me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gave you some insights as to what you're supposed to expect when you're pursuing these big things. Like, very simple, double sessions, right? You're going to be tired. It's going to be tough. You got to make time to nap, make time to fix that sleep schedule, and double sessions every day. On like that physical pursuit, that football pursuit, athletic type of thing, that's probably the minimum standard. And what I have to improve on, and what's probably a good tidbit, is like you gotta do better with the extra time instead of wasting it, which would be so easy to do. It's so easy to waste it. You must spend it doing better things, consuming better content than what is so easy to do, which is to fall into scrolling, fall into YouTube. And in my room there's actually a TV, so it's even easier to just turn on the TV and watch some stuff, right? So it's it's something that you have to control, basically, and that's something I have to do. And you're obviously going to be watching my progress on that, and I'm going to give updates based on that, and how well I'm doing in those aspects as well. So yes, join the journey. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Follow on Spotify if you haven't yet, because I'm going to keep uploading every day. This is day 3 of the series of me kind of giving these logs and these updates on this trial. And the goal is so that you can keep being engaged in it, that it's actually something interesting and informative, and you could learn a thing or two about what it means to be persistent and disciplined on this big journey, and follow along as I try and make some big things happen in my life. So that's why I invite you all to do. So thank you for watching this one. It was a little bit longer because I had the time and I had the means really to do something a little longer. I want to try and make a little bit of, a few longer episodes. I don't want to just have 2-minute long episodes. I want to actually give you guys a more detailed reflection every day. So I've done that today, I think. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what things you want to hear about. Like, what insights do you want me to give you, and what things that you want to know. Ask me those questions and I'll answer them. And I'll be sure to address them and talk about them in future episodes. So I think I've covered it all. That's kind of how my day has been today. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you really enjoyed it. I'm trying my best here with the resources I'm given, of course. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode.